Good afternoon and welcome to the 100th Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. And well, the weather is opening day. It was cloudy, then it was rainy, then the sun came out, but that didn't keep anybody away. Hi, I'm Ann Thompson along with my colleague for the first time here in the parade, Bill Reinhardt.
Hello.
Also, we want to welcome into the picture Libby Cunningham, who's going to be our roving reporter. Thanks for being here, Libby. And you know what? We have to give Libby a hard time because she's actually from Pittsburgh. And the Reds play the Pirates. But she emphasizes you're not a Pirates fan, but you are a...
I'm a Reds fan. Everyone is on opening day.
And you're a Steelers fan, but not a Pirates fan. All right. And we'll have...
Ixnay.
That's right. And Bill, nice to have you this year.
Happy to be here for the 150th anniversary of professional baseball and the 100th anniversary of the Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. A lot of celebrations today, a lot of anniversaries. We'll be covering a lot of those anniversaries during the parade. A number of floats from all over the place. Look around, a lot of people here, tens and tens of thousands. Big crowd, despite the rainy weather, which seems to be moving out. As Ann said, we should have good weather for the rest of the day.
Lots of smiley faces as well. And until the parade gets to us here at our parade location at 8th and Garfield Place, we're going to bring some people on set, including Kelly from Findlay Market, who is with her one-year-old son, Abe. And if you could step around behind here, I know it's kind of confusing. And because this is the 100th, and we're going to hand you the mic here. All right, sorry, we're a little unorganized. If you can, is she in the picture? Okay, great. So maybe step over here a little bit more. Okay, sorry, we've made it really difficult for you. And this is, again, the 100th Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. And you were up at the staging area this morning. So tell us what it was like. Just paint us a picture.
Oh, it was... So officially staging started around 9, but unofficially started a few days ago. And the energy is just surreal. It's contagious. There are people walking around. They've been here all morning, and it's just very exciting.
How in the world do you get like 200 entries lined up?
Fortunately, it's kind of plug and play right now, but we had a lot of entries this year, and people, you'll see in a few minutes, the floats this year are better than ever. So people submitted what they wanted to do, and we had a lot to choose from. It was wonderful.
All right, and the parade kind of marks the sort of the start of the Findlay Market season, farmers market season. So what can you tell us about that?
Oh, so this weekend kicks off the official start of the season. We'll have a bustling farmers market. We'll have a vibrant outdoor market. We'll have a full south side full of vendors in addition to our full-time merchants as well.
Yeah, and so what is new and down the road?
We've got a couple RFPs, so we've got some open spaces at the market. We've got our Findlay Market Beer Garden open, and then we've got a new initiative called Findlay Launch that we're kicking off next week, so a lot coming this season at Findlay Market.
How long does it take to get the market back to normal after something like this?
It'll be back and running tomorrow, so 9 a.m. it'll look like a parade never happened, but the rest of the day will be kind of crazy.
All right.
100 years of this parade. You've got it down to a science organizing this, don't you?
Correct. Sort of, yes. That's what we think.
Just year after year, you know what's going on.
Right.
It's been handed down from generation to generation.
Correct. Yes. The parade committee, a lot of them have been part of the committee for many, many years. The city has been wonderful. All of the partners, all of the businesses that line the route go all out to really make it what it is.
All right, thank you so much. Kelly Lanzer, spokesman for Findlay Market with her one-year-old son, Abe. Thanks for joining us.
Go Reds!
And before we get to our next guest, let's just remind you that you're watching on CityCable Channel 23, Charter Spectrum in the city, on CityCable 800, which is Cincinnati Bell-Fi Optics in all of Ohio, on the ICRC channels, and we're live streaming on CityCable and Waycross and ICRC. Let's move along to our next guest as we wait for the parade to get to us, as you can see up the street on Ray Street. And we're going to bring on the set Daniel Betts, who is director of the Cincinnati Recreation Commission. And Daniel, you're becoming...
Hey, I'm coming back.
Yes,
That's right.
and I don't think you've met Bill, so Bill here. Yes.
Good to see you. Pleasure.
Happy opening day.
Well, happy opening day to you too, man.
Happy you're
Yeah,
here.
glad to be here.
Yes, you're becoming a regular here,
I am
Daniel.
becoming
Okay.
a regular, and
Go.
I'm really getting kind of used to this. So,
Okay.
yes.
So what's your part in all of this?
So my role in this is that obviously. Oh, sorry. Am I supposed to hold this up?
Hold it right
So
up
my
there.
role in this is multiple, right? So CRC is responsible for recreation throughout the city. We have baseball leagues. The Reds are a strong supporter of who we are and what we do in the city. So we bring recreation by way of sports and sport activity. And so the Reds is a major part of sponsoring a lot of what we got going on across the city. And I'm just a huge transplant. Well, I'm a transplant from Chicago, but now a huge Reds fan. So
baseball.
So I got a personal and a professional connection to all this stuff.
We've got baseball fields all over the city. How are they looking? Are they ready to go?
You know what? I'm thinking they're going to be better this year than last year's and prior years. We always keep our, our fingers crossed for a good season. So I'm hoping for a good season. How about you?
Oh, always.
Yeah.
And so, I know that you're more than just baseball. So what else is going on with the Recreation Commission?
Oh, we got so much going on. Summer is our peak season, so we really like ramp it up 1,000 knots up. And so we do summer day camp. We got after-school programming obviously happening for young people who are attending summer school. And then we got our recreational and athletic leagues that are happening across the city. So we got a lot going on this summer.
And you're going to be hiring lifeguards, too?
We're hiring lifeguards. Of course, we got 23 pools that we're actually managing across the city. So that's a huge piece for us. In fact, we're hiring folks now, and we're encouraging people to go to our website, CincyRec.org, to apply for one of these jobs that we got for the summer.
And you're going to be in the parade, or at least you have a float in the parade.
I have a float in the parade, and me and my wife are actually walking the parade this year.
All right, have
so
fun.
I'm actually taking some time off from the office and sitting behind the desk to do this today.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right, again, that was Director Daniel Betts from the Cincinnati Recreation Commission. And we just have a slew of guests as we wait for the parade to get to our spot here at 8th and Race here at Garfield Place. And so let's bring to the microphone
Howard. We've got Howard here.
Well, Howard can be here in just a second.
Oh, we got someone else.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay,
Howard.
okay.
Give us a minute.
Okay, all right. Howard, let's wait. Let's have you step to the side for just a minute. We'll get to you. We got to get to a few other people, but believe me, your fans will wait. Okay, all right. So if we want to go ahead and bring the Parks Director, the Cincinnati Parks Director, Wade Wolcott. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and so just as this is opening day for the Reds, it's kind of like opening day for the parks.
That's right. Springtime is a great time, and we're here to celebrate the Reds and to celebrate a ballpark, and it just so happens we're actually in a park doing it too, here at Fayette Park, one of the oldest parks in the city.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I noticed you just turned on the fountains that are here. That's always a good sign of spring.
That is a good sign of spring, and just like you were mentioning earlier, it's opening day. It's essentially opening day for parks. You can see when we have some consistent days of sunshine and warm weather, everyone can't wait to get out into the parks.
And I was kind of amazed to hear that I think you have like 5,000 acres for parks.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's 5,000 acres of parks, which also equates to 10% of Cincinnati's land mass. So it's really amazing.
I bet a lot of people don't know that.
That's right. And parks mean so many different things to so many different people. And you think about the beauty, but we create economic impacts, we advance conservation, it's health and wellness, it's quality of life as well. So it's really something exciting to be a part of, to serve Cincinnati with.
Well, it sounds like you have a lot to do, so we'll let you get to work then.
All right, thank you so much. Go Reds.
Thank you so much. And as you can see, the parade is just a couple of blocks away from our location, where we see the motorcycles, and we'll definitely hear when the parade gets to us, because I think there's Rossi Fireworks is one of the first.
Fireworks
yeah.
right behind the motorcycles. You can see them coming down Race Street right now.
All right, let's see if we can bring up.
Oh, here come the motorcycles. We're going to have to let them get through right quick.
Oh, wow.
That's a good way to get everyone off the street onto the sidewalk. The parade can proceed unimpeded. Looks like we've got Cincinnati Police. I see some Hamilton County Sheriff. I see some other jurisdictions, perhaps Coleraine Township in there as well. Always a good, loud way to get people's attention.
All right, well, we would like to talk to Verna Arnett, who is the Deputy Director of the Greater Cincinnati Waterworks. Thank you, Verna, for joining us. I don't know if you can hear us, but we'll try to talk loudly as the motorcycles make their way past us. And so I don't know if people really know that the Waterworks has a rich history. Why don't you briefly tell us about that and why you're kind of the leader when it comes to the nation?
Right. Oh, thank you. Thanks for this opportunity to share it. We've been in business actually for over 200 years. We Cincinnati became owner of the municipal utility in 1817, and we're actually the oldest municipal utility in the state of Ohio, which is a great honor for us. We also, through the last 200 years, we've been very busy working on pioneering water treatment methods. In fact, our Richard Miller treatment plant is a state-of-the-art plant that contains sand filtration, granular activated carbon, and ultraviolet light disinfection as a complete process. And that supplies about 88% of our service area with water.
All right, and you know what? The only other thing I'll ask you about is the float. You guys entered the float for the first time last year and you won. So somebody in your department must be pretty good at making floats.
Yeah, we like floats. In fact, we spell them FLOWT, so it's water flow. But our float has a tank on it, which is a water storage reservoir that represents the holding vessels that we pump our treated water to. And once it goes to the tank and is stored there, it's available for customers to use on demand. So there's a pipe connecting the tank to a large tap on our float. And of course, we have several employees that are also on the float. The float was built by our maintenance personnel in our supply division.
Very good. Thank you, Verna. We
Okay.
really appreciate your time. Again, Verna Arnett, Deputy Director of the Cincinnati Waterworks. You can see that the parade has gotten to us here, and lots of excitement. We're looking at, I believe, the Rossi fireworks, and obviously the motorcycles are still not far behind.
They're lingering.
Or ahead.
They're lingering.
Yes.
Rossi's Famous Fireworks, firework display company in the Cincinnati area since 1930. They put on the fireworks after all of the ball games. They do the fireworks whenever there's a home run, just like that. And they've got Firework Fridays. After every Friday home game, Rossi's puts on the fireworks. The first game for Firework Fridays is May 3rd against the San Francisco Giants. There's June 14th with the Cincinnati Pops as the Reds host the Texas Rangers. And then looking ahead to July 3rd, 4th of July weekend, post-game fireworks as the Brewers come to town. Rossi's Famous Fireworks, making sure if you didn't notice the motorcycles coming through, you were going to notice the rest of the parade.
Yeah, and some quick facts. Just want to let you know, according to team historian Greg Rhodes, about the parade. In the early days, the parade was no big deal. I guess you can figure that out because the parade is 100 years old and the baseball is 150 years old. So, you know, the press and the public weren't paying much attention, but in the late 1880s, with the formation of a second major league, teams started competing for attention. And so that, in combination with a quirk in the schedule initially that allowed the Reds to open every home game at home, it became a really big deal here. And in fact, 1888 was the only year we didn't open at home.
Right now, we're looking at the Cincinnati Police Department Honor Guard. Police Department was founded in 1858. They've got 1,007 sworn officers, 125 employees. 5 members of the department carrying the flags of the United States, the state of Ohio, and the city of Cincinnati.
Bill, you've really done your homework.
Well, thank goodness for Google.
Bill Reinhardt joins me on set. Hi, I'm Ann Thompson. We work at WVXU. We're your hosts today for this 100th Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. Thanks for joining us.
There's the chief of police, some of the command staff.
And there's Libby.
Libby Cunningham talking to the chief right now.
So, not open.
Cutting in and out. Libby.
Cincinnati to a great season.
Who's the player you're looking forward to the most this year?
You know, I want to see home runs this year. I'm looking forward to.
All right, thank you, Libby, and we'll look forward to more of your reports as we look down Ray Street and see lots of smiling and waving people on the route. I would say there's a sizable crowd looking around. I mean, in some places it was 2 rows deep, some places 3 rows, as you can see.
Well, right now we're looking at Cincinnati Firefighters and the union Local 48, the trade union representing the 850 men and women of the Cincinnati Fire Department. They've got Engine 5, which historically leads this parade. Cincinnati Fire Chief Roy Winston joining the firefighters. Department organized in 1858, the first full-time paid department. We've got 2 fire trucks with Cincinnati Fire Department employees and their family members joining us today.
And you know this is a special parade, the 100th, when the Catholic Church is in it. And we'll get to them eventually, but this is the first year the Cincinnati Archdiocese has an entry in the parade, and a contingent of 50 marchers that you'll see are wearing shirts that in Latin say play ball, so we'll look for that.
Yes, the diocese has come, shall we say, en masse.
Right.
All right, we won't say that.
We'll look forward to 18 high school bands. You know, and for kids, this is a real joy. Like, I was just talking to a girl this morning, I think she's 9, and she was missing school. She was a little sheepish, but she was looking forward to it. It was her first parade. You know, something that people are really looking forward to this parade, I was doing some interviews for WVXU earlier, is the horses. I would say 9 out of 10 people that I interviewed, they wanted to see the Clydesdale horses, and in fact, they have been moved up, I think, to position number 13, so kind of near the front, so people will be able to see them.
You know, speaking of the fire department, they just went through. You'll notice their trucks are now all red. They've changed their livery. They've gone from red and white to all red trucks this year.
Interesting.
And they're going to be making that shift over the next couple of years as they get new trucks and take the old ones out of service.
All right,
Up next,
great.
the 338th Army Reserve Command Band, the largest unit in the Army Reserve Band system, co-located in Columbus and Livonia, Michigan, providing music for military and public occasions throughout the Midwest and beyond. Let's take a listen.
Oh, yeah. Just like,
And right behind the... And the Findlay Market Parade Committee. This is the group that puts on the Findlay Market Opening Day Parade, which is Findlay Market is Ohio's oldest continuously operated public market, one of Cincinnati's most cherished institutions. We've got a custom-made float to honor the 100-year tradition of this parade.
certainly no shortage of police presence in the parade.
This is Hamilton County Sheriff's Department entry.
Did they bring their bagpipes?
I believe my papers, my notes say they did. I haven't heard bagpipes yet, though.
There's the sheriff.
Sheriff Jim Neal, following the honor guard. Some of his command staff. Oh, I hear bagpipes. I hear bagpipes.
All right.
The Hamilton County Sheriff's Pipe and Drum Corps, along with the Hamilton County Honor Guard. Oh, I do love the bagpipes.
You know, and the Findlay Market float just recently passed us by. They're the bagpipes. The parade organizer was telling the media that routinely cities call from all over the country wanting to know how we put on this parade and how they can too. and Neil Lucan, the parade organizer, says he doesn't know. Here's the bagpipes. Many people were in the bagpipe contingent or corps, whatever you call them, because usually you see just like one or two at a funeral or so. I didn't know that they had that many people.
Also that black and white police car. old 1980s model from the Police Museum. There's a Chevy Caprice, about 1984, I believe. All restored.
You know, as we're looking at the parade, let's bring in Howard Wilkinson, who we both work with at WVXU, former Enquirer columnist and huge baseball fan. And Howard, this is like...
wait a second before we interrupt the parade. We've got Johnny Bench coming.
Oh, yeah.
And Johnny, of course, is the honorary Grand Marshal.
And we have the baseball commissioner as well.
The baseball commissioner, Manfred.
What are you most excited for this year at the Reds?
Them winning the pennant. I'd like to see that today, but look at this crowd. Can you believe this? 150,000 on 150 years. Look at that, even an autographed jersey.
Thank you so much. Have fun.
Johnny Bench, honorary Grand Marshal.
All right, that's fun. So anyway, number one Reds fan standing here, Howard, who has season tickets and has had them for years. What's the outlook for the Reds this year, Howard?
Well, I'm really excited about this season. I mean, all the acquisitions that they made over the offseason of veteran starting pitchers, really good guys who can go deep into a game. The bullpen has improved, picking up people like Yasiel Puig and Matt Kemp, and Kyle Farmer, too, who's made the team as an extra because of Scooter Jeanette's injury. These are all good, solid ball players. This is going to be a much I know it's been tough for the last 4 years. You know, tell me about it. I've been sitting down there. But this is going to be much more fun to watch, and it's certainly going to be a much more competitive team than what we've seen in recent years. It's going to be, in other words, Ann, it's going to be a lot of fun.
This is probably one of your most favorite days of the year, Howard. So let's wrap it up by just telling us what it means to you and what you like about the parade.
Well, what it means to me, I mean, is kind of we survived the winter. We got through another winter without baseball, and everything comes back to life in the spring, right? And so does baseball. And we love that. That part of it I love. And the parade is unique in baseball. No other baseball city, no other team does this. I saw some Pirates fans wandering around a little while ago. They were like mystified. They had absolutely no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
Well, right now we've got the Reds.
Thank you, Howard. We really appreciate it. We'll let you go enjoy your day.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Going through right now. The Reds have got a lot of special stuff for this year. Grand Marshal Rob Manfred, he's the commissioner of Major League Baseball, became a sports leader in 2015. And he's here in town helping us celebrate the first openly paid baseball team.
And I just want to emphasize that this year, and increasingly leading up to this year, the parade organizer, Neil Lucan, has said that the entries have gotten better and better. He said people are just going, way overboard. He said there's some outrageous, to quote him, floats here, and we really look forward to seeing the rest of the parade.
Our next band, the East Central Trojan Band and Guard from St. Leon, Indiana. They've got 92 members, grades 9 through 12, and the East Central Dance Team with them.
All right, let's take a listen. I would have to say the bands are one of my favorite parts about this parade. There are 18 high school marching bands.
The Trojan Band and Guard performed at Disney's Magic Kingdom. They're playing this year at the Indy 500 Five-time Indiana State Fair Band made finals. The dance team, there are 2 teams total, 40 dancers in the 5th and 12th grade. There's the camp for younger kids as well. And they say they love this parade at Findlay Market. They love
think I read at one point that a large percentage of their school is in the band.
Yes.
It's pretty popular.
Another entry from Findlay Market. Custom-made float honoring the 100-year tradition of this iconic parade. It would not be Cincinnati without the Findlay Market opening day parade.
And there is the governor, Mike DeWine.
You know, I talked to him a couple weeks ago.
All right, and here is
Libby's
Libby.
going to talk to him.
Governor DeWine, what do you think about Cincinnati here on opening day?
Well, opening day is always just a great holiday. Go beat the Pirates later today, but I have my grandson Parker with me today. And
Are you having fun, Parker?
Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming out.
Great to be here.
All right, thank you, Libby. Yes, Bill and I heard some sound from the governor earlier this week saying he was looking forward to eating a hot dog at the game.
He has seats near Howard Wilkinson at the ballpark. Libby, you've got some more people to talk to out there in the crowd.
I sure do. We have a lot of people here next in line, so pretty excited.
Got a bit of a gap here in the parade. That sometimes happens. When we look around, all the smiling faces, this is a day that is often said is just a step below Christmas for the level of excitement and enthusiasm. And look around, it's hard to find someone who is not happy on a day like today. It warms my cold heart as well.
Yeah, earlier today I was interviewing somebody who was saying that the parade is Cincinnati. He was just saying that how he wouldn't miss it. I also interviewed somebody else who had been to the parade for about 40 years. And her favorite was, in this order, the horses and then the players.
We do have a number of horse entries a little later. As you said, what, 19 bands?
So again, let us go out to Libby, our roving reporter. She's got some more people lined up. Libby?
I'm here with Reagan. So Reagan, you're 6. What are you most excited about for opening day today?
To see all the red players in the band.
Do you have a favorite player?
Johnny Bench.
There you have it. You just got to see Johnny Bench too. Pretty exciting day, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's a classic fan right there.
Thank you,
Classic
Libby.
fan.
And
Classic
here we are.
fan.
Hi, I'm Ann Thompson along with Bill Reinhardt. And we join you as your host for this 100th Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. Thanks for being here. You're watching us on CityCable, the 800 Cincinnati Bell-Fi Optics in all of Ohio, as well as CityCable 23 on the ICRC channels. And we're live streaming on CityCable and Waycross and ICRC. Thanks for being here.
King Studios, nonprofit organization to help revitalize and memorialize Cincinnati's legendary King records. We've got board member Bootsy Collins, board member Philip Hall, and Otis Williams on board. King Records was instrumental in the history of the civil rights movement, created a racially integrated workplace, and the King Studios Experimental Learning Center is going to be sharing that history in contemporary ways to really engage the community and teach the fundamentals of music entrepreneurship to middle school, high school students, and university students as well. Hey, there's Bootsy. It's again historic King Records in Evanston.
You know, here's
what are you guys most excited about for today here at opening day?
Fine.
What are you most excited about today?
Oh, this is a wonderful day. The Lord is blessing us to move on.
Yes.
All right, Bootsy Collins. Thank you, Libby. And you know, there's so many kinds of entries for everyone. One of my favorites is the lawnmowers that come by, and we haven't gotten to them yet, but we will, yes.
Well, we've got some Reds players coming up here. And you can see a couple of the pictures. Oh, there's the official Grand Marshal. Yeah, it used to be when the parade started, the entire team marched down to the ballpark, but you know, things have changed, and so
I can see how that might not be a good idea. You might be getting tired out. Got to save it all for the Pirates.
But this year we've got some of the pitchers who are not starting today. I believe we've got Sonny Gray and Anthony Descalfini.
You know, as we see the parade come down Ray Street, and we're down here at Garfield, want to mention some people that I interviewed today. 2 of them were from Cleveland, and I said, oh, like she was wearing pink. And she said, well, I didn't really plan on going to the parade. She was down here with her boyfriend who had gone on some interviews. And they're really Cleveland Indians fans. But at least the guy had put on a Cincinnati Bearcat shirt. So he had some red. And they said, hey, we're here. We might as well see the parade. So that was kind of fun.
I think all baseball fans are welcome.
Yeah,
at
look
this.
at all the kids.
This is
Oh,
the
they're having
celebration of
such a
Cincinnati,
great time.
the celebration of baseball. It's a celebration of Findlay Market and just basically a celebration of humanity. We have that long shot. There it is. I think it's the Air Force mascot. Moving a little slow.
Yeah. So another person I talked to, I said, what do you think about the Reds this year? And he was like, well, actually, I'm from St. Louis, so I'm a Cardinals fan. But he lives here in Cincinnati. He said, I wouldn't miss the parade. I come every year.
See, it's for everybody.
Yeah.
I just kind of can't help but wonder, the opposing team every year, when their fans come to watch the opening day game, what they think when they see this, when they see the throngs of people coming out to watch a parade.
They're probably amazed.
I wonder if they go home and say, why don't we have this here? Because this doesn't happen just anywhere.
Right, that's what I was getting at earlier when people call up Neil Lucan and say, how do we put on this? And then they realize the scope of it. And I mean, Findlay Market has been doing it for 100 years, so they have it down to a science, but it does take some doing, that's for sure.
There we have Cincinnati Vice Mayor Christopher Smitherman, first elected to council in 2003, served a 2-year term, and then returned to council in 2011. He was named vice mayor in 2017. Members of his family. And there's something blocking Race Street. It's a parade.
Libby Cunningham is our roving reporter, and she's out and about, and we'll be going to her shortly. I was giving her a hard time because she is from Pittsburgh, and later we want to find out, because she's been tasting some of the food down at the stadium. She was one of the first to find out about some of the new food, so we want to ask her about that at some point. Speaking of the game ball will be delivered by Bronson Arroyo today. The first pitch, Eric Davis, Johnny Bench will be catching, and Joe Morgan is the captain. All for today's game.
And the first pitch is at 4:10 as the Pirates are in town.
Saturday's game, the players are going to be walking the red carpet. Here is Libby.
Let's go to Libby Cunningham with Vice Mayor Christopher Smitherman.
Vice Mayor Smitherman, how many opening days is this for you?
Oh, at least 5, 6, or 7. It's so much fun.
What's the best part of the crowd today?
The people, the love, and the people. This is all about Cincinnati. Go Reds!
Yes, go Reds! Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Christopher Smitherman.
Love that hat.
Right. And the weather has turned out to be okay right now. I mean, it's fairly warm. It's a little cloudy. It was raining earlier. That's moved out of the picture. So hopefully, the game moved out of the picture at least temporarily. The game will be dry. I heard there might be some rain later on today, but that's certainly not scaring away people.
And looking to the west, starting to see a lot more blue sky rather than gray sky.
All right, that's encouraging.
Mike's Car Wash, family owned, based in Loveland, founded in 1948 in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Now they've got 24 locations, including 11 here. This is their 5th year of sponsorship with the Reds. 5th year participating in the opening day parade as well. They also work with the Reds Community Fund with the Bow Tie Tuesday promotion. They've raised more than $121,000 for the Reds Community Fund.
Wow, that's terrific.
And Local 12 joining us as well.
Nice Cami Durking.
They first came on the air in Cincinnati 60 years ago. And they also have today's game on the television.
And there we got a small glimpse of the 1869 Reds. There they are. I interviewed one of those guys today, Danny Thomas, who says they travel. They're actually an official team, and they travel all over. They have 40 games. And I asked them, hey, did you guys go 57-0? That's what the first Reds team did. And he was like, no, but he said the main thing is to have fun, right?
With the old-fashioned uniforms as well. And then now you know why they were called the Red Stockings when they first started in 1869.
So, you know, earlier we were talking to Daniel Betts, who's the director of the Cincinnati Recreation Commission, and he is walking in the parade, and they actually have a float, I think. And here come...
a couple of miniature ponies.
That's right. The start of several entries with horses and ponies.
Oh, those are adorable.
They're even decked out for the parade in the game today.
If you're just joining us, we are watching the 100th anniversary of the Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. The parade traditionally starts up at Findlay Market and over the Rhine, goes down to the ballpark, wherever the ballpark may be. This year, as it has been for the last few years, down at Great American Ballpark. Parade route goes down Ray Street to 5th and then turns left, passes Fountain Square. And then everyone who's been following along can hoof it on down to the ballpark for today's game against Pittsburgh Pirates.
And people get here early. I mean, like hours early, like 8 or 9 o'clock to line up on the parade route. And talking to a couple people who had done that, and they said, hey, you know, it's the 100th parade. We didn't know if there'd be more people. So they were lined up especially to get shots of the horses. They all wanted to get shots of the Clydesdales. One lady said that she missed out last year and she wanted to make sure she got in the front row so she could take a picture.
Well, we're seeing the Reds Community Fund right now. Hosts various youth teams from around Greater Cincinnati and Cincinnati Public Schools junior high baseball and softball players. Reds RBI baseball and softball players, along with CPS junior high baseball, softball players walking alongside, along with the superintendent, CPS, and Dumbo. New Walt Disney movie opens tomorrow. This is the Owens Group.
This is the Dumbo Float that parade organizer Neil Lucan was talking about in the news conference.
This is the new live-action remake of Dumbo. And I won't be able to watch that one scene with the Baby of Mine song without crying. I know that much.
You're really sharing a lot today, Bill.
I'm opening up. This parade makes me emotional.
This is
what can I
very therapeutic for you. We've got some cheering cows coming down.
It's the Chick-Fil-a Float. They've got 16 area restaurants, all locally owned. Some of the owners and employees walking alongside. They've got a ride-along Zamboni in partnership with the Cincinnati Cyclones as well. All those cows. They, maybe I shouldn't mention this, but they asked when they applied to be in the parade, can we go first? Because our cows get really tired.
We've got a great location sitting here at Race and Garfield, and a large contingent of camera guys.
A wonderful crew from Cincinnati CityCable.
And ICRC. You know, Bill, we were talking earlier that the Reds Museum is reopening.
Yes, tomorrow.
And so I guess why was it closed? What happened? And what can you tell us about it?
Well, it was a 5-month renovation, $5.5 million to redo the entire 16,000 square foot facility. They're going to be putting new exhibits in, new artifacts, stuff you haven't seen before, because they've got a ton of it. You know, 150 years of history. They've got old seats from some of the old ballparks. They've got lights, signs, lockers, everything, and a lot of the stuff they're going to be able to move in and out a little more easily. And they will be reopening tomorrow. They didn't want to conflict with today's events or Saturday's kids' opening day events down at the ballpark. So they decided to do it in between.
And guess what we're looking at?
Hey, it's the Clydesdales.
The star of the parade for many people. They're looking very regal.
Actually, are those Clydesdales? I'm not sure those are Clydesdales. I think those may be Belgians. I'm not a horse expert, but those are not Clydesdales.
Okay, sorry folks, didn't mean to get your hopes up yet, but still, they're fun to look at. How'd you like to have that job?
The manure crew. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Oh, there's the Clydesdales behind them, behind the truck there. The Belgians and Clydesdales, they're related. They're closely related, both draft horses. bred for farm work. And here's the world famous Budweiser Clydesdales. And you know, you always see the Dalmatian with the Clydesdales, and that's a relatively new entry. Well, I think the Dalmatian became tied with Budweiser back in the 1950s, became a mascot for the Clydesdales. Clydesdales are a mascot.
And you wonder if they know how important they are. And if it's like a competition, like you want to be part of the Budweiser Clydesdales. There's their Dalmatian you were talking about, yes.
And there's the group from iHeartMedia, Cincinnati, WLW, WEBN.
You know, you mentioned that besides the 100th parade, of course, it's the 150th anniversary of professional baseball, the Reds being the first professional team. And so they're doing a bunch of things. You can get all the information at
700 WLW, Libby Cunningham on loan from them today.
Yeah, so 150 years for baseball, and you can find out all the activities related to the Reds by going to reds.com/150. And as part of that, you'll be able to read about a new bench campaign with Mr. Redlegs, just like they had the other benches some years ago. They're going to be placing Mr. Redlegs benches in various places. And then July 5th is like the main date where there's going to be a Reds Rockin' 150 with bands, fireworks, and a chance to get on the field. So again, that information all at reds.com/150.
First time I ever saw the opening day parade was with 700 and was just astounded riding in this parade, seeing all these thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah, because you're from Nebraska, so this was kind of new to you, right?
This is bigger than a lot of cities I've lived in. There are more people watching this parade than a lot of cities I've lived in. And yeah, you can tell from the picture, the sun is starting to come out. And it's going to heat up here real quick, start drying things off. Should have a good day at the ballpark.
Well, that's terrific. You know, Howard briefly went over the starting lineup. Again, it's Winker, Votto, Puig, Suarez, Schebler, Peraza, Barnhart, Iglesias, and Castillo today for the Reds.
Comes Tyson Foods, Conn's, the manufacturer of Conn's hot dogs, the official hot dog of the Findlay Market Parade and the Cincinnati Reds. They've got Connie, the pig float, with them.
The pig has a name?
The pig has a name.
Okay, oh, Connie. Okay, that makes sense.
Kahnie. I don't know about you, but I'm hungry.
This is making me hungry, that's right. You've got, you know, many grills around us set up.
Looking behind Connie, and you can hear him now, the Washington Blue Lion Marching Band.
And where are they from?
Washington Courthouse. They've represented the state of Ohio, the National Independence Parade in Washington, 4th of July several times. Let's take a listen.
If you weren't off from school and you could come down here because your school wanted you to be in the parade. One of 18 marching bands you just saw. Here's the West End Reds.
Sponsored by the Fox Sports Ohio Group, the television home of the Cincinnati Reds during the baseball season. They've got over 750 live sporting events, 4,800 hours of live and original programming every year. And you see they've got this luxury bus, the Fox Sports Ohio Reds Fan Express. David Mann. Where's David Mann? Cincinnati Councilman David Mann coming up here soon. Libby, have you got him?
He's coming up. He's coming up.
He's coming. All right.
Did you see the kids from the West End League? And they were just like high-fiving everyone as they went down. So they were really living it up.
There we got David Mann's entry. We got Charlie Lucan in there marching with David Mann, city council member.
And former
more than 20
mayor.
years on council. Been vice mayor, he's been mayor, served in the Navy. He was on a destroyer in Cuban waters during the Cuban Missile Crisis. And that car, that's a 1929 Packard.
Vice Mayor Mann, I have to know, how many opening days is this for you?
You know, I was on council first in 1974, so you figured out quite a few.
And what is your favorite Reds team been?
The 70s, the Big Red Machine, of course.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Libby. And I actually have a story about David Mann. I believe it was him when he was mayor. He changed the time in Cincinnati because there was this big thing about we weren't going to be the first game to lead off the season. And so at least in our own minds, we made it the first game.
Well, the Reds are the only team that's guaranteed a home opener in all of Major League Baseball. And also today, the first time since 1968 that every team is supposed to play today, have their first game today.
Interesting.
They tried it, I think it was last year, but 2 games got rained out. But if weather permits, every game today, all the teams are playing today for the first time since 1968.
Okay, here comes a giant hat.
Well, that's the OKI group. OKI Call 811, representing the 3 states. Nonprofit One Call, free services to identify buried utilities for safe excavation practices.
They might be hoarse by the time the parade ends.
Oh, that's something else I love about parades, old fire trucks. Bagpipes and old fire trucks, and I'm happy. And we got Duke Energy in with the OKI Call 811 group.
You know, there's such a wide variety in this parade. You have Duke Energy, OKI, of course, you know, lots of neighborhood organizations, cheerleaders, bands.
Horses, fire trucks, antique cars.
Fireworks.
Council members, a couple of county commissioners coming up a little later. And, of course, beer. Wiedemann's Fine Beer, George Wiedemann Brewing Company, part of Cincinnati's opening day celebration. It was first brewed in Newport in 1870. So they're 149 years old.
And you're right, Bill, the sun is shining on us. Hasn't this turned out to be a very pleasant day?
Getting better by the minute. That wagon is kept, it's owned by Ray Wegman. It's kept at Wegman's Farm in Green Township. And that was used during the gas rationing in the 1940s during the war. It was used to deliver beer around Cincinnati, Newport, and Covington.
Oh, fascinating.
It's unrestored, in its unrestored condition. It's got the 1948-49 Cincinnati license plates and wooden beer barrels. They used to be filled with Wiedemann's Bohemian Special Brew.
You are watching coverage of the 100th Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. The sun is shining. Hi, I'm Ann Thompson along with Bill Reinhardt from WVXU, and you are watching on CityCable 23. CityCable 800, Cincinnati Bell Optic in all of Ohio, on the ICRC channels, and we're live streaming on CityCable in Waycross and ICRC. Thanks to our bucket truck, you're getting some fabulous views of the parade.
Cincinnati Public Services loaned us the bucket truck.
And you're getting a shot of it right now.
Well, that's a nice shot. That's a great view of the parade. Up above it all.
Down street side, we have our roving reporter, Libby Cunningham. She's out and about and is rushing to catch up with people, politicians, Johnny Bench earlier.
This is the National Flag Company. They're celebrating their 150th year anniversary as well this year. So another milestone.
Yes.
And making flags here in Cincinnati for 150 years.
I wonder how many flag companies there are. Probably not that many.
There can't be that many.
Yeah.
But it still astounds me as to how many companies are based here or founded here. I talk with relatives and they just don't believe it because everything comes back to Cincinnati. Everything relates back.
True. Some of the other quotes from people that I was interviewing today, one person from Anderson Township, Ken Eckert, said he likes everything about the parade. It's a great experience for Cincinnati. He says it is Cincinnati. And then Bermuda Gates says that she likes the children, the animal, and the marchers. The children, the animals, and the marchers.
We were talking about the 150th anniversary of the Flag Company. Right now, we've got the Rip Grippo's Potato Chip Company.
And I'm Ann Thompson along with Bill Reinhardt. We're here covering the parade for you at the intersection of Race and Garfield. Thanks for joining us. And the weather is terrific here. People are having a great time. It was raining a little bit earlier. The sun's coming out, and you can see the parade is continuing to come down Race Street.
As I was saying, 150th anniversary of the Reds, 150th anniversary of the Flag Company, 100 years for Grippo's.
Yes.
Another anniversary, 100 years for the Findlay Market Opening Day Parade, and 100 years for Grippo's. So this is just a heck of a year. Sesquicentennials and centennials abound.
Exactly.
Up next, Cummings K-8 Optional School Marching Band from Memphis, Tennessee. The heart of Soulsville, USA, hometown of Aretha Franklin. These are students from 4th grade to 8th grade. It's the Marching Soul Band from Memphis.
They came all the way from Memphis for the parade. That's terrific.
The Cummings Marching Soul Band. 4th through 8th graders, so they're young, too.
And they're good.
St. Vincent de Paul, this is their 150th anniversary as well, believe it or not. Basic necessities provided to vulnerable Cincinnati neighbors, distributing more than $1 million every year to help keep your neighbors safely in their homes. St. Vincent de Paul, their sesquicentennial as well. I just like saying sesquicentennial.
You're saying it a lot, but there's lots of anniversaries, that's for sure.
The Rosie Reds.
Now talk about your, super fan. Those are the Rosie Reds, traveling all over with the team to see games in other cities.
The Rooters organized to stimulate interest and enthusiasm in the Cincinnati Reds. You thought it was just a name. No, it's an acronym.
I did not know that.
Organization. All of their events are fundraisers, generating revenue for 9 area college baseball programs and the Kid Glove organization. They're going to be on field today to present plaques to the managers of the Reds and the Pirates. They also participate in other on-field activities during the year. Rosie is also a member of the Rosie Reds organization. Naturally, there she is on the truck. They're going to be delivering the game ball. And they've got a Rosie Reds parade in September. And they throw out the first pitch during the year, too, at times. Since 1964.
You got a glimpse of the Anthony Munoz Foundation as well.
And right behind the Rosy Reds, we get the Anthony Munoz Foundation, started in 2002. Their mission is to impact the youth of Greater Cincinnati mentally, physically, and spiritually in order to challenge youth to realize the best in their character development and to achieve academic success.
Yes, their organization really does make a difference. There's Amy Murray,
Another
Councilwoman
city council
Amy
member.
Murray.
Council member since 2013. Do you know when she was in high school, she lived in Kyoto, Japan for a year?
I did know that because I know she's been involved in the
Sister
Japan
City program.
Yes, and the Japan America Society or Cincinnati organization.
And I believe
Oh my gosh, I can't pick one. It's like picking your favorite child, but I am so excited for the team here. The Castellinis have done such an amazing job. I'm just looking forward to everything that's going to happen this year. It's going to be so much. This is start it all. Oh, wonderful opening day. Thank you.
Thank you, Libby. Talking to Amy Murray, council member. And right behind her, the UC Alumni Association. They're celebrating a bicentennial.
Yes, 200 years.
Cincinnati College and Medical College of Ohio, founded in 1819, they became what is today's UC College of Medicine. So a bicentennial, sesquicentennials, and centennials.
So the guy that I interviewed earlier from Cleveland who didn't have a red shirt, he was wearing a Bearcat shirt, so he does still fit in with the parade.
Excellent.
Look, here's a little, we're still seeing Bearcat, but down you see a little miniature baseball field.
Miniature?
Well, okay.
Miniature, that thing is
Not-
enormous.
Not playable.
Now, whose is this?
A little replica of Crosley Field, where the Reds
Is
first
this the
played.
Lukens float? That is something else. Yes, that's that's Weedland Builders. 65 years of experience in the area. Family-owned, operated custom home builder. That is quite the float. Once again, look at these crowds. Tens of thousands of people lined up on Cincinnati's city streets to see the 100th anniversary of the Findlay Market Opening Day Parade.
And you know what? As you saw, the baseball commissioner, Rob Manfred, is the Grand Marshal, and the parade organizer, Neil Lucan, said, we want to show him just how important this parade is so there won't be any scheduling conflicts. Remember last year, the parade was held on a day that was not opening day because it was close to Easter and the Findlay Market merchants couldn't lose business.
Well,
so they want to show him how much it's respected, how many people turn out.
Well, if there was any doubt, this should really cement Cincinnati's place in Major League Baseball. Here's
Sean
the Lucan
Robert.
float. Neil, Kevin, and Michael Lucan. More than 120 years of combined service at Findlay Market. Neil's the owner of Neil Lucan Meats, serves as the chair of the parade. Michael is the owner of Lucan's Poultry, Fish, and Seafood, and past chair. And Kevin Lucan, co-chairman. They're continuing their tradition of celebrating opening day with family members and friends. And right behind them, Truckway Leasing, part of the Castellini group of families.
How can you not smile today? There's so much excitement, you know, the weather, you got food out here, people set up early to have like tailgate parties. And to think Findlay Market's been doing this for 100 years. What, see the dog with the hot dog costume?
Oh, yeah, yeah. We want to thank you for watching us here on CityCable. Good afternoon. I'm Bill Reinhart here with Ann Thompson and Libby Cunningham. And that is Dave Hawkins singing his new song, Opening Day Parade. It's a remake of his old song, Opening Day.
It's opening day.
That's the Friends of Findlay Market private nonprofit corporation managed the Findlay Market.
My grandpa called him Pop-Up Johnny. To me, he was my hero, Johnny Bench.
They got some Cincy Red Bike members going with them, and Dave Hawkins with his new song, Opening Day Parade. He first recorded that as just Opening Day in 2002. He's reworked it for this year, for the 150th anniversary of baseball and the 100th anniversary of the parade. He made a video with the help of some Cincinnati State students, and they've got a float a little later on. Up next, the Reading Marching Band. It's the Blue Devils.
And right before them is the
grade.
decals, impressions, and you saw some video of them.
The Blue Devils, they're going to be playing at the Flying Pig Marathon. They got a request to play Chariots of Fire. They'll be at mile 24. The Reading Blue Devils. Behind the Blue Devils, from Feld Entertainment, a Monster Jam truck. And they were talking about having a couple of Gravedigger mini trucks as well.
What is a Gravedigger mini truck? I'm not sorry for my ignorance, but this was mentioned at the news conference.
It's a smaller version of Gravedigger, which is right there.
Okay, all right. So I guess what makes a Gravedigger?
Just as a guess. Oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
Just kind of scary looking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smithfield Foods, John Morrell and Company, Cincinnati's hometown meat company, supporting the Cincinnati traditions, which makes Cincinnati a great place to work, live, and raise a family. Also with Queen City Sausage Company, founded in 1965. The official sausages of the Reds, with iconic brats, Mets, and hot Mets.
And the hot dog is marching up and down and waving to us.
Yes.
There he is.
And another monster truck from Integrity Roofing coming along as well.
I would think the hot dog would be running scared today.
Well, our hot dogs are brave. Oh.
Okay, what little kid doesn't like a truck? Or big kid?
A lot of the big kids, too.
Look at those tires. Could you see yourself driving something like that, Bill?
Maybe when I was younger.
Okay. As Bill was mentioning earlier, the parade is working its way down from Findlay Market, which I'm not sure what the total length of the parade is, but basically it's from Findlay Market, down Race, over 5th. And as Parade Chairman Lucan was saying, hey, they'd love to have everybody, but they just can't that wants to be in it because it has to be over in time for the game.
This music group is Washington Park Roots Revivals, for Roots Revival Thursdays at Washington Park. You got bluegrass and baseball music. Let's take a listen.
Happy opening day, Queen City. How you doing?
Now, Roots Revival Thursdays are going to be Thursday nights at Washington Park, starting May 30th, starting to August 29th. Free bluegrass music in the park from 7 to 9. Not just bluegrass, but old-time baseball music. I think this is the Twin Towers Senior Living entry. Artists in residence performing on the float. Music from CCM students. University of Cincinnati College Conservatory of Music. In the 4th year, this program offers students the opportunity to exchange housing costs for musical performances. Students design and deliver concerts for residents at Twin Towers Senior Living. And the residents get a little entertainment out of it. A very good partnership there.
And right now is the Clermont Northeastern High School Marching Band, the Marching Rockets.
They've performed in New Orleans, Toronto, Chicago, Virginia, Wilmington College, Miami University, UC, OU, Disney's Magic Kingdom. 25% of the student body is enrolled in the Clermont Northeastern
That's
marching
pretty
Rockets.
impressive.
Marching Rockets of Clermont Northeastern. And in this 1928 Chevrolet stake bed truck up next, that's Hgc Construction. They've been working since 1931 around the tri-state. They've been working in historic buildings downtown. They've been at the zoo, local schools. They've been in the parade for a number of years. They're the main contractor for the Cincinnati Reds Scouts Club, the team shop, the handlebar, the Phi Optics District, and they've been working on the Hall of Fame just in time to get it open for tomorrow.
What was the one exhibit that they maybe said people would really look forward to on the Hall of Fame opening?
Tomorrow, it's going to be all about the different ballparks the Reds have played in. The Palace of the Fans, to Crosley, to Great American, to Riverfront Stadium. This new exhibit at the Hall of Fame looks at all of the old ballparks.
Very good. And you know, the Reds have a float. We haven't gotten into it yet. Wow, look at the unicycle. Can you ride one of those?
Well, this is the Cincinnati Circus Company.
Okay.
They've got stilt walkers, unicyclists, aerialists, banner holders. If you've ever been up to Burnett Woods, they've got a trapeze school up there. Maybe you've seen it on the corner.
I have seen it, yes.
They perform at county fairs, Newport on the Levee, and at Great American Ballpark, and they'll teach you how to do the trapeze at the Flying Trapeze School in Burnett Woods.
Lots of talent.
That is the Cincinnati Circus Company. I can't juggle. My little brother can. I just do not have the coordination to juggle or unicycle.
Takes a lot of practice, I'm sure. But anyway, what I was starting to say was the Reds have a float. It's on an 18-wheeler, and it is all about throwback uniforms. There are 15 throwback uniforms, and they're going to start wearing, they're going to wear all of these during the season. And the first one they're going to wear for the very first team is going to be on the actual date of the opening day that year, which is May the 4th.
Yeah, I can't do stilts either.
That's a long way down.
That's Libby Cunningham you're hearing. She's out along the parade route, talking to fans, talking to parade goers, and some of the people in the parade.
And it sounds like the photographer was getting lots of love out there in the crowd.
Photographers should. They don't get enough love. The people behind the camera should get a little more love.
Is she eating fire here?
Yes.
Well, if you can't juggle, Bill, and you can't walk on stilts, maybe you can eat fire.
No.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
No. Oh, is that Glenn?
It was Glenn. Yes, that was who was mentioning, like, who is that? And then Libby said, oh, he was with the Inquirer for years. So, yeah, Glenn Hartong.
Oh, I think this is the Belterra Park.
Can I get in?
Oh.
Yeah?
Okay, all right.
Tell me when.
We got Belterra Park with Ron Oster. Played his entire Major League Baseball career with the Cincinnati Reds from 1978 to 1990. He's a native of Cincinnati. In 2015, the diamond at Withrow High was renovated and named in his honor. Ron Oster. Big round of applause for Ron.
All right, Ron.
And that's presented by Belterra Park. And these would be the Red Hot Dancing Queens, an award-winning dance crew, name inspired by Cincinnati's love of the Reds, and city's nickname.
and they're having a lot of fun.
Started as a small group, now they've got more than 60 members. They debuted in late 2015. Volunteer their time not only to practice and perform, but they also do some charity, serving food at the Walnut Hills Soup Kitchen during Christmas. The Red Hot Dancing Queens. You'll see them at a lot of parades around the area.
You're watching live coverage of the 100th Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. Hi, I'm Ann Thompson along with Bill Reinhardt. And we want to thank ICRC for their equipment and their truck. You can watch them on watch us on ICRC as well as on CityCable 800, Cincinnati Bell-Fi Optics in all of Ohio, Channel 23 on the ICRC channels, and we're live streaming on CityCable and Waycross and ICRC.
Got the UC Health University of Cincinnati Medical Center Health Pet Therapy Program. Pups for patients and for staff. Every pet therapy owner is a volunteer at UC Health, and they can go to any UC Health hospital to visit patients.
And the pets really do make a world of difference. I haven't done a story on the UC pets, but I have done one on Children's Hospital, and those are typically like labs.
They're good dogs.
And who can actually hop up in bed with patients.
They're very good dogs.
Who might be missing their own dogs.
And right behind them, Thomas More University Marching Band. Thomas More University Marching Band open to all students who want to be part of an energized marching band. They've only been around since 2014. They are the Marching Saints from Thomas More University.
Everybody's a Reds fan today on opening day.
I think this is Midwest Cheer Elite, the largest all-star cheer and dance organization in Southern Ohio. More than 500 athletes, world competitive teams. Teams for ages 3 through 18. Place for kids of all levels, all ages and abilities. Midwest Cheer Elite. And Sipsey Klein Realtors, founded back in the 1930s, 22 branch offices around the area. I'm proud of their Cincinnati roots. Locally family-owned company, Sipsey Klein. And right behind them, Jeff Ruby's bus.
He takes that everywhere. I mean, even at a wrestling tournament a couple of years ago in Kettering, I saw it.
Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse, Cincinnati, downtown. There's the Precinct. And, of course, Carlo and Johnny's. As it says, Cincinnati loves its legends. And behind them, we've got the Cincinnati Beard Barons. Not the Beer Barons, the Beard Barons. That's with a D. Group of men and women raising money for charity.
Women?
Yeah, well.
Okay. Beard Barons, okay.
They've got beard and mustache competitions. They're raising money for the Barracks Project and for Stepping Stones, and they're showing the positive side of being hairy. Impressive facial hair.
And the perspective that you're getting is we are sitting at the intersection of Race and Garfield. The parade headed down from Findlay Market on down Race Street and across 5th. You know, not too far behind, we'll be seeing the Sugar Pills All-Girl Ukulele Band. That'll be fun.
It's the opening day gang, isn't it? Oh, no, that's still the Beard Barons.
They've got a huge contingent.
Definitely.
We've got Spring Grove.
Here's the opening day gang. Group of loyal friends. And oh, wait, before that, we've got the Spring Grove. Yes, historic Spring Grove Cemetery. Established in 1845. All of Cincinnati's founding fathers are there now. It's a museum without walls. And they've got a tour tram, so you can take tours of the cemetery.
And coming up shortly, I see another famous baseball player, Tom Browning.
Mr. Perfect.
Threw a perfect game.
This is the opening day gang. It's a group of loyal Reds fans, started in 1999. They've been in the parade on their own since 2005. This is their 20th anniversary, so they're paying homage to their past and the present. Got a cartoon on their float from local artist Jerry Dowling. And of course, Mr. Perfect, Tom Browning. This city does love its history.
Oh, look, an Elvis.
Oh. Hey, you can't have a parade without an Elvis.
Is this the Fayetteville Perry High School Marching Band, or am I jumping ahead too much?
I'm not sure. I can't see. There's.
Oh, Purcell. Okay. Purcell Marion.
You're watching the parade coverage of the Findlay Market Opening Day Parade, the 100th anniversary of the parade, coinciding with the 150th anniversary of Major League Baseball. Cincinnati Reds, the first openly paid professional club. This is where professional baseball started.
And Bill, have we come across the Archdiocese yet? I want to make sure I don't miss them because they have their play ball T-shirts in Latin.
Not quite. I think this is the Order of Sons of Italy in Cincitalia. You got the St. Catherine's of Siena Church in Westwood, United Italian Society, the Order Sons of Italy in America, Mezzo Mezzo Social Club, as well as the San Antonio Italian Church in South Fairmount. And the wind is definitely picking up.
And there's Xavier University. You can see the big X there.
And the big blue blob. Here comes the Cincinnati Vintage Baseball Club, back when baseball was 2 words. The organization displays the way baseball was played back in the 1860s with authentic uniforms and equipment. They demonstrate the game with other clubs across the region. You were talking about this earlier, Ann.
Yes.
As you said, they play how many games a year?
40.
40 games against other old-timey baseball clubs.
And they play at some pretty cool places. He was mentioning they play at the field like that was in Indiana that was in a movie.
Oh, was that the 8 Men Out? Where they filmed 8 Men Out?
Possibly. He was just saying it's a lot of fun. He's done it for 15 years, been on this team.
Jim Beam. Well, this would be the Boone County High School. 100 high school musicians. Boone County.
are the Sugar Pills,
Sugar Pills.
the ukulele band.
All-girls ukulele band. Community outreach band singing and playing ukuleles. Their mission is to help people feel their best, whether they're ill, well, or somewhere in between. Cancer survivor Barbara Baxter is the Sugar Pills leader. She formed the band after she realized how much music helped her when she had cancer surgeries and chemo.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Band members are aged 25 to 75. Now we got go to Libby Cunningham again, out on the street.
Here we go. How many opening day?
She's talking to Jim Scott.
When I was out of
What are you most excited for this year?
Say that again.
What are you most excited for this year?
I think Fred said this. Oh, look. And new. And you're lucky. You're new to the station. Way to go, Libby.
Libby Cunningham talking to Jim Scott, formerly of 700, marching with the Kroger entry. Kroger Barney wagon with horses.
You know what I like about Jim Scott? I mean, he's really,
The nicest guy in the
talented,
world.
but he's the nicest guy in the world. Who goes to a news conference as the MC and then points out everybody in the crowd? He does, in the audience and the different press people.
This is a 1948 Mack fire truck from the Cincinnati Fire Museum on West Court Street. That's old Engine House 45. It was a museum. It's a museum now. It's been a museum since 1980, but before then it was an actual fire station for Cincinnati.
I've gotten this wrong in the past, but isn't it that we had like the first city fire department?
The first professional baseball team and the first professional fire department. So the color red is very important to Cincinnati.
Yes.
Oh, and I do love old fire trucks. We were talking about Kroger. They started here in Cincinnati in 1883. Now there's 2,800 stores in 35 states under 24 names.
Wow.
We're the nation, perhaps the world's largest supermarket company.
So they started up about the same time as the Reds.
A few years after
Yeah.
Barney Kroger. So he was watching a couple of games.
Yes, I'd say so.
Joe Nuxhall Foundation, encompassing the 3 of the legacy projects of the former Reds pitcher and announcer Joe Nuxhall. There's the Character Education Fund, the Joe Nuxhall Scholarship Fund, and the Joe Nuxhall Miracle League Fields. Group of kids carrying signs of character traits, teaching kids about baseball and a little bit more about life.
I want to drive one of those cars.
What are we looking at? Is that the Hauser Air go-kart?
I think you're right.
Well, there's Warm 98. I see them.
I see the Hauser sign. The guy has a T-shirt
yes,
on.
yes.
Yeah, so that's it.
And there's Howie the mascot. And Hauser Heating and Air. Family owns. Serving the community since 1978. There's Howie.
There's a lot of enthusiasm about the Reds this year. I know, they've had some of their seasons that were not the greatest, but we heard from Howard Wilkinson earlier. He's had season tickets for years, and he's always telling me, this is the year. So I don't know if he's saying this is the year, but we're getting towards it. We've gotten some good pitching, and, why not be optimistic? It's opening day.
And if this is your first time watching the parade, it will go to just about ball time, just about game time. Starts around noon. The first pitch is at 4:10. Keybank, American Regional Bank, headquartered in Cleveland. Got a district headquarters downtown here. Behind them, Fayette Perry High School Marching Band from Brown County. 39 students in the high school band this year. Let's take a listen. Brown County, the Fayetteville Perry High School Marching Band. 39
Bill,
students
were you in
coming
the
from-
band?
I was.
Okay, so was I. What did you play?
Trumpet.
Okay. You played an instrument that actually could be heard in
Yeah.
marching bands. I played the clarinet. I felt like no one could ever hear me.
This is the USS Cincinnati Commissioning Foundation for the LCS-20. That's also known as the USS Cincinnati. It's the latest, the 5th U.S. Navy ship to carry the name. It's a scale model of the USS Cincinnati, along with the ship's commanding officer, executive officer, and command master chief.
And maybe you said this, but it's expected to become part of the U.S. Navy in the fall at a commissioning ceremony somewhere on the Gulf Coast.
They're hosting fundraising events around the city to build awareness for the ship, to sponsor the commissioning activities upon entry into the fleet, and they're going to create an enduring scholarship for sailors' families.
Here's the
that'll be managed by the Greater Cincinnati Foundation.
Here's the Crosby Township
the Unicycle
cyclists.
Club, the Crosby Pop Cycles. 4th and 5th grade students from Crosby Elementary, Southwest Local School District, Crosby Township. Now these kids get up every morning, an hour and a half before school actually starts, to come practice riding a unicycle.
Oh, I'm impressed.
They've been playing at high school basketball games, college basketball games. During halftime, they performed March 10th at the UC Houston game at halftime.
You know, I don't know if they're in the parade this year, but also that reminds me of Sherwood Elementary over in Anderson Township. So they ride bicycles. They're jump ropers.
Yes, we've got some jump ropers coming up.
I'm sorry, jump ropers. And they practice as well.
That was the Crosby Pop Cycles, 4th and 5th grade students from Crosby Elementary. Rodeo Farm, horse-drawn carriage. Percheron draft horses. These are Percheron drafts. Now the Percheron breed it originated in Western France for use as a war horse. They were adapted for stagecoaches and agricultural work. And this is Rodeo Farm with their black Percherons.
They are some really good-looking horses. So the people that came to the parade to like horses, have really gotten their fill. We've had the Clydesdales.
Oh, you can't have enough horses in a parade.
The Percherons. We've had the ponies. What were the other horses that I got mixed up? I thought they were the Clydesdales.
Oh, they're Belgians.
Belgians, that's right.
Got another band coming up. You can hear them. This would be Little Miami High School Marching Band, the Panthers from Morrow, under the direction of Tabitha Smith. It's a dance-style band, and they enjoy performing for this excited crowd. The Little Miami High School Marching Panthers. Morrow, Ohio, the Panthers.
Total of 18 marching bands at last count here in the parade. The Flying Pig Marathon has a big presence here.
Flying Pig Marathon is the 19th marathon, marched May 5th through the 7th. The float is called Take Me Out to the Ball Park. We've got statues from the Big Pig Gig. Marathon's one of the top 20 running festivals in America. It's one of the top 10 most fun runs in the world, according to Runner's World magazine. And Flying Pig Marathon is May 5th through the 7th because it's a whole weekend of events.
I'm not a marathoner, but I have heard that it is one of the top places people like to come. And there's
What
the
are you
mayor.
most cheer?
I think we're going to have a winning season again. We got a lot of hope. Obviously, we wanted to win a division, play for a part. It would electrify the city.
Do you have a favorite player?
Well, of course, I'm a Votto fan, but Yaziel Puig came to see me at City Hall recently, so that was great too.
Awesome. Have fun.
Thank you, Libby Cunningham.
Thank you,
grabbing
Libby.
Mayor John Cranley in the parade. Libby's been up and down the streets talking to fans, talking to some of the marchers. Right now we've got the Brewery District Community Urban Redevelopment Group going by. They're trying to preserve this important part over the Rhine.
Who's in the bathtub?
Well, that bathtub is from Arnold's Bar and Grill, Cincinnati's oldest tavern in continuous operation since 1861. So that bar was there before the Reds became a professional team. And that's Pam Kravitz driving the tub.
All right.
Arnold's is 158 years old.
Not far behind, we'll have the Bockfest Goat, I think.
I think we're still technically in Bock season. Springtime beer. You often see Bock beer associated with goats, and that's because it was brewed by monks. One of the monks got a little too tipsy and fell over, and when he got up, his friends were all laughing at him, and he blamed it on, he said he tripped over a goat.
Huh. You're somewhat of a beer connoisseur too, aren't you?
A little bit of history here and there.
Yeah.
I just like history. If beer's attached, that's okay.
You're watching CityCable's coverage of the 100th Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. And we're about halfway through, I would say. About 200 entries.
Document destruction coming by right now. Vintage 1968 Chevy pickup truck. Newport Aquarium, one of the top 10 U.S. aquariums in 2017, playing everybody's favorite song, Baby Shark. You can see the Newport Aquarium from Great American Ballpark. Open to the public 365 days a year at Newport on the Levee. The Wave Foundation on a mission to excite, engage, and educate the community about the wonders of aquatic life and the importance of conservation. They're helping to wish the Reds a shark-cessful season.
Haha.
I did not write that.
Very good.
I did not write that.
Okay.
One of the top U.S. aquariums, according to Leisure Group Travel, USA Today's 10 Best. Libby Cunningham, you've got someone to talk to.
I've got a fan here, so what's been the best part of the parade so far?
Yeah.
Horses.
It's always
Horses. And why did you guys come down here today? Family trip. Doing it since a little girl. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the parade.
Thank you, Libby.
Thank you, Libby. Earlier, I was talking to a 9-year-old who was missing school, and I said, what are you looking forward to in the parade? And she says, my dad told me it would be fun. So, and it is.
He's not wrong.
Yes.
I think this is the next level dance and drill team. Come from different communities throughout the city. Established in 2015. And become known as one of the most entertaining, energetic, and positive youth dance groups in the city. It's a nonprofit organization helping youth who are less fortunate. Last year, they were able to travel at least 5 times outside of Cincinnati for competition and filming on a TV show. They teach majorette, lyrical, hip-hop, jazz, and ballet dance. The next level dance and drill team.
I mean, there have been other years when it's been really cold, and you kind of felt sorry for, people that were, like in majorettes and drill team. But this is great. This is, very comfortable weather today.
It's a beautiful day for baseball and for a parade. Can't imagine better weather. A little windy, but I'm not going to complain. It's the 100th anniversary of the Findlay Market Opening Day Parade and the 150th anniversary of Major League Baseball. MLB's helping celebrate. Every club's going to have a little patch on their uniforms recognizing the Reds. How about that?
Yeah. Looks like Taylor High School marching band is coming up.
Well, before them, we've got Friends of Taft. They're preserving President Taft's legacy in and around the Cincinnati area. There's a President Taft impersonator.
He kind of looks like him.
Well, that's why he's an impersonator. Of course, you've been up to the Taft birth site up in Mount Auburn. And this is Taylor High School Marching Band. From Three Rivers Local Schools in Cleves, Ohio, the band and color guard comprised of both middle and high school students. The marching band is competitive. They strive to ensure they're also entertaining. They're supported by the Acclaim Foundation. It's the Taylor High School Marching Band from Three Rivers Schools in Cleves. Good afternoon. If you're just tuning in, I'm Bill Reinhardt here with Ann Thompson, Libby Cunningham, our roving reporter.
Thanks for watching.
You are watching the 2019 Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. It's the 100th anniversary of the parade and the 150th anniversary of Major League Baseball, born right here in Cincinnati, Ohio.
And we have an excellent vantage point. We're standing here or sitting here on Race right near 8th, Garfield. And thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. And we're having lots of fun.
Got the Food Truck Association entry coming up next, I believe. Also looking forward to the jump rope team from Sherwood Elementary. They've got to be coming up here soon. Oh, I see the beginning of the zoo entry, and that's not Fiona. Looks like her. Can you imagine how insane this crowd would go if Fiona actually made an appearance?
Oh, they would go nuts. And Fiona was voted something in Cincinnati Magazine, some top, well, I'm sure it was the top attraction.
City Beat, their best
Yes,
of?
yes, that's what it
Yeah,
was.
she's got to be Cincinnati's favorite daughter right now. But the Cincinnati Zoo, one of the oldest accredited zoos in the nation, brought some of their residents. And representations of some of their other residents. Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Gardens.
I'm sure it's beautiful now there with all the flowers coming up, and many people aren't familiar with all the gardens and flowers they have at the zoo, but this is a great time to go. Here are the jump ropers from Sherwood Elementary.
If I could just find my notes on them again.
So Sherwood Elementary in Anderson Township. Wow, I can't do that.
But they've got some of their older jumpers in the front. I believe it's 6th grade and down. So they've got some of their more seasoned jump ropers leading their entry.
Jump roping is supposed to be like one of the best exercises.
Well, they haven't seen me do it.
Okay. Are you better or worse than they are?
Worse.
Okay.
Much worse. Military Order of the Purple Heart. This is a group serving veterans who've been wounded in combat. They've got local chapters in Cheviot, Union Township, and Brookville, Indiana. Military Order of the Purple Hearts. And they've got the Cincinnati Trolley. Here comes the Waterworks.
We were just talking
Greater Cincinnati Waterworks.
about the Waterworks and their float, and last year, their first time in, they won.
Well, who doesn't love a scale model water tower?
Oh. Yeah. Okay. 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 Thanks. And the parade is working its way down Ray Street. Here's Frisch's big boy. He's getting his groove on.
120 locations across the tri-state. We've got a couple of booths at Great American Ballpark. Frisch's does. That float, the large bell in that float is welcoming David Bell as the new Reds manager. They've got a replica of Findlay Market.
Here's the Aiken High School Marching Band.
Reborn in 2013, they didn't have any instruments at that time, but they got donations from GE, Buddy Rogers, other schools, and Cincinnati Public Schools. They've been performing since then.
That's
Starting
great.
from scratch, the Aiken High School Band and the Aiken Drill Team.
They sound pretty good.
Students in grades 7 through 12. Right behind them, Cincinnati Recreation Commission.
We were talking to Daniel Betts, the director, talking about getting his baseball fields ready, hiring lifeguards.
They've been connecting generations for more than 90 years. They've got a network of 23 recreation centers, 33 aquatic facilities, 6 golf courses, hundreds of playgrounds and sport fields. The Cincinnati Recreation Commission, providing activities for Cincinnatians of all ages and abilities. And Madcap Puppets as well. 37 years of bringing joy to Cincinnati children. This Westwood-based puppet theater performs all over the region. Most of the puppets are diehard Reds fans, and they've led by Mighty Casey.
As in Casey at the bat?
Could be.
Okay.
Here's the Wapakoneta Breakfast Optimist Club Precision Lawnmower Drill Team coming down from Wapakoneta.
I mean, you can't help but love them. I
Their
mean, they're
motto is to bring out the best in kids. They've got tricked out lawnmowers. They've been doing precision stunts and maneuvers. This is they've had 19 consecutive appearances in the Findlay Market opening day parade.
Yeah, we can't have a parade without them.
The Wapakoneta Breakfast Optimist Club, a local nonprofit service club, reaching out to the youth of Wapakoneta to bring out the best in kids.
That would be an insult if somebody asked them to like mow their lawn or something for them.
Kenton County High School Marching Band, Simon Kenton High School, Dixie Heights High School, and Scott High School students. First time they've all been put together. 250 total marchers, 220 of them musicians, 30 color guard members. Kenton County High School Marching Band. We'll take a listen to them. The Kenton County High School Marching Band. 3 different high schools, Simon Kenton, Dixie Heights, and Scott High Schools. It's the first time they've all played together.
They sound pretty good.
220 musicians, 30 color guard members. Yes, they sound very good.
Lots
the
of
first time
marchers. Thanks for
performing
coming.
Together. Fraternal Order of Eagles from Cheviot. This is a 30-foot by 20-foot long flag. Eagles are a well-known icon of Cheviot. And they want to say thank you. Thank you to the Reds. Thank you to the Findlay Market Opening Day Parade.
This
and
is the
thank you.
2019 Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. Findlay Market has been doing it for 100 years, and you're watching coverage on CityCable and ICRC. Hi, I'm Ann Thompson along with Bill Reinhardt.
And Libby Cunningham from 700 WLW, our roving reporter.
That seems like it would take some strength, especially if the wind's picking up to hold this flag. How big did you say the flag was?
30 by 20.
Okay. Lots of excitement on this opening day as the entries make their way down Ray Street and across 5th.
That's the PNC float.
I like that float, very creative. Got a river
And right behind
theme
them,
going
I
on.
think this is AAA. The Priority Queen. Mock-up of a steamboat. Quite a bit of steam. Everyone's got the old-fashioned C on their chest.
Yes. It is the 150th anniversary of professional baseball.
Priority towing from north side. Encouraging you to pull over. Move over whenever you see an emergency vehicle or construction equipment on the side of the road. And this Oompa band from Holding Realtors. Real estate company founded in 1991. Some good Oompa music. Celebrating Cincinnati German heritage.
And we've got Ron's Roost Restaurant, as you can see, the big rooster.
You talk about your West Side traditions. That's some of the best mashed potatoes in the city, I'll say that much.
Okay. That was a pretty loud cock-a-doodle-doo.
Green Township Professional Firefighters right behind Ron's Roost. Nonprofit firefighter union organization representing all firefighters in Green Township and EMS crew. That's a 1986 white and red Sutphen fire truck.
You don't see too many white ones, do you?
Not often. That's not too common of a color. Too hard to keep clean, I guess. I believe this would be the Taste of Belgium entry. I'm not sure why I think that. Could be the waffles. Of course, Taste of Belgium started at Findlay Market, and now they've got 4 bistros around Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's become very successful.
They're in Columbus, and they've still got the original stand at Findlay Market.
And it's excellent. They're so good.
Belgian cuisine with a twist. Founded 12 years ago.
All right, look at all the Bobcats. This is what I want to be in. I want to drive one of those.
Now, one of those, it's a 1958 original Bobcat skid steer loader, and they've got a 2017 skid steer loader that's operated remotely. There isn't a driver. They're doing it remote. It's a drone, essentially.
Yeah.
So that's quite the history from Bobcat Enterprises. Started the business in 1975, second generation now running it.
Here's St. Veronica in the Anderson, Mount Carmel area.
Oh, St. Veronica School, the Blue Ribbon Catholic School, 500 students. Along with Eagle Savings Bank. Now that's a sound system.
Yes. I wanted to go back to St. Veronica for just a minute. Every year they have a theme, like they have to dress up as somebody.
Yeah. Lawrenceburg Marching Tigers, 35 members strong, competing in the Mid-States Band Association, various parades. From Lawrenceburg, it's the Marching Tigers. And we've got the classic Coachman Farm hitch, sponsored by Turner Construction. There's an old tractor. Look at that old John
If it
Deere.
breaks down, isn't AAA ahead of them?
Community Savings Bank. And here's the hitch from Classic Coachman. Doesn't say what kind of horse. Oh, those are Clydesdales. Those are Clydesdales. And you can't have a parade without Shriners.
That's right. They're certainly an important part of Cincinnati.
Syrian Shrine of Cincinnati, members of the North American Philanthropic Mission to support Shriners Hospitals for Children. World-class network of 22 pediatric specialty hospitals.
And there's the Shriners Clowns.
And you got the Burns Hospital and the Paraplegic Medical Center.
It's our favorite red, all of them. It's Go Reds today.
That's right. Have fun.
All right, Libby caught up with one of those Shriners
Libby-
clowns.
Libby likes talking to the clowns.
I do. Who's your favorite red?
Joe Morgan.
Okay. Are you having fun? Have fun at the parade.
Joe Morgan is
You
actually...
have fun today too. Go Reds. Have you seen a lost monkey?
I haven't, but it might be up there.
Hello.
Yeah, he said Joe Morgan is favorite. Joe Morgan is the captain today.
Oh, they're looking. The Shriners are looking for a monkey. Yeah, their banners caught by the wind. I can't see who it is.
I think this is the Woodward Center Technical High School Marching Band.
Yes, good Empire of Sound. Good catch. The pride of Woodward, Career Technical High Center. '52 band members. 90% of that band had never played an instrument before.
Wow.
The Empire of Sound.
They're kind of being drowned out by the fire trucks.
This is the Miles Greenwood Historical Fire Apparatus Society. Not sure what that first one is, but the second one's a 1964 Seagrave. Maybe. I'm just going to let you look at those because we can't compete with that noise.
They're all trying to outdo each other.
Oh, that's the 64 Seagrave pumper from Hastings-on-Hudson, New York.
I like that. That's very...
Yeah, took them 6 months to get that thing running.
That restoration job is great.
And this next fire truck from Cincinnati State.
It's clever.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Cincinnati State Technical and Community College, public two-year college, established in 1969. So guess what? 50th anniversary.
Exactly.
And we told you a little earlier that some of Cincinnati State students helped make the video for Dave Hawkins' new song, Opening Day Parade. We heard him playing that live earlier on. And I'm sure you're going to be hearing that song a lot this year.
And
It's
this
a
is
catchy
all
tune.
this is all Cincinnati State advertising its technology program, fire technology.
More than 100 associate degree programs, majors, and certificate programs at their different campuses. Right behind them, we've got the Cincinnati Public Library. One of the oldest, largest, and busiest libraries in the U.S. Their theme this year is more than books. So showing people you can come to the library and do more than just read. They've got the maker space, they got Wi-Fi.
And recently they've started a program where if you need to be hooked up with some assistance, whatever it may be, mental health, anything else, then they have tables with information, and every Friday they have people there that you can talk to.
And they're followed by the Clermont County Public Library. A number of different library systems in the area. I've had library cards for both of these, Clermont County and Hamilton County. Cincinnati Hamilton County Public Library has Library Day at the Reds ballpark a little later this year, and they've got a new exhibit opening May 3rd, celebrating the Cincinnati Reds. Baden High School Band coming up next. Music ensemble of about 45 musicians.
And they're riding.
Take a listen. Baden Rocks is the pep band for Baden High School. They've only been around for 6 years. The kids get to select the majority of the music they play, so they play what they want, which means they're guaranteed to have fun.
And they have been a regular presence here in the parade. I remember that they've been an entry here for a number of years.
Cincinnati Opera coming up next. Oh, how would you like that as your walk-up song?
Right.
That or perhaps the Anvil Chorus. You're watching live coverage of the Cincinnati Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. Ahead of the Reds season, today the Reds host the Pittsburgh Pirates. First pitch at about 4:10 at Great American Ballpark.
Look at the huge bats on the Miami Valley gaming float. I don't know if that's already passed us by. There they are.
Lucky.
Yeah. How'd you like to go swing that bat? If you can even hold it.
That's more of an Adam Dunn bat. Well, there's the Gleersgata Calliope. And coming up next, the American Sign Museum, 20,000 square foot museum with hundreds of commercial signs, a history of signage. They've also got a library and a working neon shop.
Actually, that is a most interesting building. Have you been there?
It is, I have, a number of times.
One of the German journalists that every once in a while I have coming over here wanted to go visit that. He had read about it.
The Sign Museum's driving a 1944 Dodge with a Garland crane. Dance Flash Fusion, another dance group. Their mission as a not-for-profit organization is raise money for those underserved in the community. They're celebrating and honoring women in baseball this year. They want to pay homage to women who took chances and transcended typical gender roles. Reliving the days of the Rockford Peaches in the 1940s, channeling the power of Jackie Mitchell, 17-year-old girl who struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. They're wearing authentic 1940s style baseball uniforms.
They've got lots of energy. Good for them.
Bringing life to an era that changed the way we see American baseball.
Oh, look. So this is the entry that I think debuted a couple of years ago, the Oriental Walk. This huge
With the Chinese
vehicle.
Dragon.
Yes. Huge limo going down the street.
The Wong family has been bringing Chinese cuisine to the city since 1977 as the official restaurant of the Cincinnati China Sister City organization. That's the Oriental Walk and the Chinese Music Society. And now it's the India Culture Association, nonprofit dedicated to enhancing Indian cultural awareness. Primary objective is to first get more involved in local community life and get local life a little more adapted to Indian culture.
And they've started that by getting involved. Here they are in the parade.
Big Indian community here in the tri-state. And they've got a cricket team. They've got a number of cricket players, which is somewhat, as you know, related to baseball.
Judge Ralph Winkler marching along.
His brother as well, Judge Robert and Judge Ralph Winkler. Ralph Winkler elected to probate court in 2014. Judge Robert Winkler joined the Court of Appeals in 2006. Liberty Carriage, they do weddings and parades and other events. 2 Belgian horses with their trolley. Well, you could have 25 people on that. Have you been keeping track? Do we have more Clydesdales, Belgians?
I was trying to think the total number of horses that we've had today. I mean, the people that, were saying horses were their favorite, they're really getting their fill. This is the 2019 Findlay Market Opening Day Parade, the 100th Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. I'm Ann Thompson along with Bill Reinhardt. We have Libby Cunningham along the parade route. Thank you for watching.
If you're watching this, you may recognize we're on Race Street at Garfield, just about the halfway point, I believe. Parade starts up at Findlay Market, comes down Race Street to 5th.
And this is the Cincinnati Stars Marching Band.
College Preparatory Academy Lions Marching Band, the newest marching band in the West End. 35 students, grades 4 through 12. All of them having to learn to play their instruments in less than 2 years.
That's pretty good. I see an ice cream soda coming down the road.
Could that be the UDF float? No.
That is Freddy's.
Freddy's, yes. Frozen custard and steak burgers. And they're marching with color guard.
And the wind is picking up just a bit here. The sun is kind of hiding behind the clouds, but we're hoping the game can get off without any rain. We got some train action going on here.
Oh, that's for the Dragonfly Foundation. Oh, Dragonfly got its own fire truck this year. That's kind of cool.
That is cool. Those kids are having fun riding on the fire truck.
Oh, looks like all of them get to autograph it too. How about that?
That's neat. That's one of Marty Brenneman's causes, isn't it?
Yes, he shaved his head a couple of years ago.
Reds announcer
with the
Marty
proceeds.
Brenneman.
And this is his last year announcing for the Reds. Christ Hospital Network. Acute Care Hospital in Mount Auburn. They've got more than 1,200 physicians, 5,800 employees throughout the network.
And they have a likeness of its tower coming down the street.
They were planning on bringing up a couple of their patients who are 100 years old this year.
Wow.
Whether that's true, I don't know that they'll be marching, but maybe they're in one of the vehicles. But hey, you never know. Oh, they've also got author Bryn Moore with them. She's the author of the Findlay Market Cookbook.
Okay.
And she was planning on blogging along the parade route, talking about some of the healthy eating options at Great American Ballpark.
This seems to be one day you could just cheat, though, right? Do the healthy tomorrow.
I'm not going to get into it with a nutritionist.
Okay. There's the Bellevue Fire Department. There's a Reds robot. Bryant. Heating and cooling, Tom Recton. Not far behind is the Big Red Machine. It has written on it. O'Rourke, your hometown demolition contractor. Leaving no doubt it's coming down the street.
So in celebration of the 150th anniversary of professional baseball, Major League clubs are going to be wearing an MLB 150 patch on the right sleeve of their jerseys for the entire season.
Very
And
interesting.
that's featuring the 1869 Cincinnati Red Stockings.
You have done your research, Bill. That's great.
Well, Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan, Eric Davis, and Bronson Arroyo are going to be part of the pregame ceremonies at Great American Ballpark.
Right. And then, you know, I was mentioning their throwback uniforms. I don't know if their float has come by yet, but they have an 18-wheeler with all the throwback uniforms. And the first throwback uniform they're going to start wearing is on May the 4th, the actual first day of that first year.
The Steelcase Float, they supply the Reds with furniture needs. 27th year, Steelcase has been represented in the parade with their truck. The world's largest office furniture supplier. And after them, we've got LSC NB National Bank serving customers for over 135 years in Southwest Ohio.
Lebanon Citizens National Bank. Hi, I'm Ann Thompson along with Bill Reinhardt, and we're your hosts for the 2019 Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. You can see exactly what our vantage point is. We're here on Race at Garfield, and lots of excitement, lots of people surrounding us. And they're not only bankers, but they're also musicians.
Nice ragtime band. College, offering Associate of Arts degrees.
And we've got the, there's Chatfield College that you were mentioning. Also, we have the Knights of Columbus.
From Lawrenceburg.
Following.
They're supporting the Catholic Church Special Olympics.
And Coney Island. We got the pool that's going to be opening soon. Let's go to Libby Cunningham, our roving reporter now.
So we've got a fan here. You've been here all day. What's your favorite float been so far?
The one where the fire goes.
Yeah, the fireworks, they are pretty cool. And what do you love the most about opening day?
All the excitement from everyone.
I think it's very exciting right now, don't you?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. We're having a great time out here on the parade route. Hope you guys are having a good time too.
Thank you, Libby.
Yes, we are. You
Coney
know,
Island.
I liked the girl's description of, you know, it went poof for the Rosie's firework. Yes, Coney Island.
It's a big boom, that's right.
Yes.
Coney Island's changed with the times, but it's still a place with historic roots. They've got a truck and flatbed featuring a depiction of the Sunlight Water Adventure, the largest recirculating swimming pool in the world.
It is pretty big.
Behind them, it's changing gears. One of the bicycle wagons around the area. Each bike seats up to 15 passengers, and you don't have to pedal.
I know, I've watched that, and a lot of the people don't. So does that mean the other people are doing all the work?
Magnified Giving, founded in 2008 with a vision to teach people how to become philanthropists. They partner with 105 local high schools and middle schools. They give students $1,000 to grant to local nonprofits. It's the only nonprofit organization in the area that teaches youth about philanthropy. Roger Grine founded Magnified Giving. Got a fire
Good
truck
for
from
him.
Evendale. And those were the Franciscan friars we saw there too.
There they are.
They arrived in Cincinnati in 1848, and they're still serving the neighborhood with parish, school, and social service programs.
We've got some fruit walking down the street.
Fruit of the Loom? Who is that? Oh, it's the Castellini Company. That makes sense. That makes complete total sense.
The owners of the Reds. We better get that right.
Yes. Now this old bus. This old bus is part of the Cincinnati Transit Historical Association, documenting the transit history of the area. That's a 1957 GMC. It was operated by Cincinnati Transit, and it serviced Crosley Field. They did not have to remake that sign. That's cool.
That is very cool.
I think that
A
shows up in
throwback.
some of the movies they've filmed here recently. Cincinnati Transit Historical Association's 1957 GMC bus.
Got a little bit of gap in the parade. I see the YMCA is walking down Ray Street. YMCA of Greater Cincinnati.
It's a nonprofit focused on youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. They provide free meals to more than 375,000 kids every year. They work with churches and the community to provide gap services. They award more than $3 million in scholarships every year as well. It's the YMCA.
The crowd is thinning out a little bit as the parade passes us by and people head down to the game, but we still have a number of hours before the game starts.
First pitch is at 4:10, which is a little under 2 hours away. It's 2:15 now.
Here we
Of-
go.
of
You had to
course.
have this with the
Of
YMCA.
course.
That would really protect you at bat, the giant helmet.
That's 93.7 WFCJ radio, part of the area for over 55 years. Connecting families, schools, and local organizations, and encouraging music and programming, as well as family-friendly events.
Also,
like
another rich
Parade.
tradition here in the area, the Kiwanis Club.
Kiwanis. They're celebrating a 100th year anniversary, serving children in Cincinnati. Helping out the Ronald McDonald House, the Free Store Food Bank, Wesley Chapel Mission Center in OTR, and Horizon Science Academy. They support the Builders Club. That's a middle school service club at Wesley Chapel Mission Center. They also serve the Circle K Service Center at UC. And they support Kiwanis International's mission to eliminate neonatal tetanus throughout the world.
Very good.
Their theme this year is knocking it out of the park for kids.
Somebody's blowing bubbles.
They got bubbles. All right, now every year I see the Metro entry, the sorta Metro entry. It's a little motorized bus, a little go-kart bus. But you know what? It has a name.
What is the name?
I didn't realize this until just the other day. That's Heidi.
Oh.
Baby hybrid bus, Hydy, Heidi.
Yeah, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, driven by loyal Reds fan and Metro maintenance employee John Herzog. Metro is the nonprofit tax-funded public service of the Southwest Ohio Regional Transit Authority.
Go John, he's having lots of fun. I hope he doesn't get dizzy.
Metro provides about 14 million rides per year.
Horsemen Helping Horsemen is the next entry we have coming down Ray Street.
I've got notes on them. Where are they? Give me a second.
All right.
Oh, here we are. Ohio Horsemen's Council, nonprofit, doing horse-related activities like educational programming, organized trail rides. 4,300 members in 67 Ohio counties. Thousands of volunteer hours to promote building, maintenance, and preservation of more than 1,600 miles of bridle trails throughout Ohio. It's their mounted horse division with companion ponies and their manure crew.
And here's the great parks of Hamilton County. Behind.
They've got their color guard. They've got the horses from the Winton Woods Riding Center. Just some bikes you can rent at some of the parks. The Great Parks mascot, Parky, you can see there.
And we interviewed Wade, the head of the Parks Department, earlier today, and he was just saying, just like this is opening day for the Reds, it's kind of like opening day for them. They have lots to do, getting the parks ready, and so, yeah.
17,500 acres of parks throughout Hamilton County. 80 miles of trails, lakes, ponds, golf courses, campgrounds, dog parks. There's a greatparks.org for more information.
Oh, this is, okay.
Oh, there's 9/11 steel. It's police, fire, veteran support group. It's an actual piece of steel from the World Trade Center. It's mobile. The mission is to educate people about the tragic event so it's never, ever forgotten.
And let me correct myself. When I was referencing Wade in the parks, that was the City Parks
City
Department.
Parks versus Great Parks.
This was Hamilton County.
Yes.
Apologize for that.
So the 9/11 Steel Memorial is a partnership between the Cincinnati Fire Museum
and we're getting
the
a good look at it
Timers
now.
Foundation. Once again, this is CityCable coverage of Findlay Market Opening Day Parade, the 100th anniversary of the parade, and the sesquicentennial of professional baseball.
And you can see our vantage point now is we're sitting here on Race in Garfield. Hi, I'm Ann Thompson along with Bill Reinhardt. We have our roving reporter, Libby Cunningham, who is out on the route, and we'll go to her whenever she tells us to. And thanks for watching. It's a great day here. The sun is out again. It's kind of going in and out of the clouds, and wind has picked up a little bit, but it's still a great day here in Cincinnati.
the Black Ice Dance Drill Team, premier dance team from Grand Prize Entertainment. Inner city kids from 6 years old to 18. Founded in 2014, the Black Ice Drill Team, supporting young men and women in pursuing their dreams in hip-hop and majorette dance while maintaining a minimal grade point average of B. So if you're going to belong, you got to keep your studies up. You got to keep your grades up. The drill team also does charity work. They donate food and clothes to the less fortunate throughout the year, and they serve as an outlet for emotions and feelings for a lot of kids. It's the Black Ice Drill Team from Grand Prize Entertainment.
Here is the Yellow Ribbon organization.
Yeah, the Yellow Ribbon Support Group, representing military who are deployed and serving in harm's way, bringing awareness that we still have men and women deployed around the world fighting the battles against terrorism.
And that was Keith Maupin, who was on the float. Of course, he started it. His son, Matt Maupin, was killed.
Matt's ride vehicle. Got some active duty personnel on that float. Peterbilt of Cincinnati, family-owned truck dealership. They've been serving the area for 6 years. It's a new 2020 red Peterbilt truck pulling a flatbed trailer. And on the flatbed is Ashley Martin, local Nashville recording artist.
Let's go to Libby now.
We have here, she's been along the parade. More favorite red. And what has the best part been about the parade? There's been so many people. There's been some frisbees being thrown. What's your favorite part been? We've had some pretty good floats, I'd say. I think all of them are pretty good. Thank you so much.
Hear, hear.
That would be hard to answer. Somebody sticks a microphone in your face and says, what's your favorite part?
The beginning, the middle, and the end. Well, I don't care so much for the end. Scallywag Tag up next, the only pirate-themed family entertainment center in the area. Laser tag and mini golf. And I hate to say it, but we are closing in on the end. Looking at the Imagineering Academy and ACE team from Boone County school system. Now their entry includes a modular bike train, and this is a robotic stern wheeler. It's about 8 feet long. It's remote control, because look at the kids following behind it. That robotic stern wheeler.
Yeah, and right now we're looking at Go Reds, but there it is.
There it is.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, they built that. That's amazing. The team is trained in both art and engineering. It's a collaboration of high school educators and students from Boone County.
Boone County, that's right. That's great.
Here's Signorama. And the Ignite Institutes. We are coming to near the end.
Is the SWAT entry the end?
Rumpke.
Okay.
Rumpke followed by Cincinnati Police.
Yes.
According to my notes.
And it looks like we even have a Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah, so we do. But Rumpke Waste and Recycling, the official trash and recycling company of the Cincinnati Reds. They've been keeping neighborhoods clean since 1932.
Should be, of all people, Santa should be in red.
Well,
he's in orange.
He's standing out. It's safety orange.
Okay.
That's what it is. It's safety orange. And then we've got the Cincinnati Police behind the orange safety Santa. Cincinnati Police Department's SWAT unit. And there we are. We are at the end of the 100th anniversary of the Findlay Market Opening Day Parade.
That went too quickly. I mean, I know it's been a couple hours, but gosh, Bill, with all your useful information.
Let's run to the front and see if we can just start again. Let's just keep it going.
We might do a better job. Look, and everybody's making their way either to their cars or down to the game.
See, I've never been at the end of this parade, so I've never seen this part of it. And as we've said earlier, the parade actually started with everyone just following the team down to the ballpark. And so
maybe that's what's going to happen now.
Doing.
Yeah, you wonder how many Pittsburgh Pirates fans are kind of like in the midst of that. They thought, like, maybe we'll just kind of see what's happening.
Like I said, I kind of wonder what visiting team fans always think when they come to Cincinnati on opening day.
And here we are at our junction of Ray Street and Garfield. Ann Thompson along with Bill Reinhardt. We had Libby Cunningham along the parade route. We want to thank all the many camera people who are helping us out today. ICRC, you're watching us today on CityCable, 23 as well as 800 Cincinnati Bell all over Ohio on the ICRC channels and live streaming on CityCable and Waycross and ICRC. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll sign off. And here's Libby. You want to step in here for the 100th Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. Thanks for joining us.
Go Reds.
Guys, go Reds!
No problem. Do you see the camera?